Company's Dynamic Alert Limited, stock symbols DYMC. For more information, give us a call toll-free, 888-259-4449. Richard, back to you here in studio. I guess the next logical question is, how does the company go about acquiring the raw material to produce your products?
Very carefully. Actually, this is one of the reasons why there's going to be something else different about our approach. Is from the very beginning we're going to necessarily be an international company. In the United States, if you want to do testing of the effects of cannabis, you have to get it from the government, and they will only give it to you if you want to prove that cannabis is dangerous. If you want to find out how it could help people, they will not give it to you.
No kidding.
So basically, in order to have a standardized pharmaceutical product, we have to have a standardized cannabis source. And there are, fortunately, a number of countries in the world that have provisos in their laws that will allow you to, under tightly controlled conditions, to produce cannabis for research purposes. Canada has such a provision under their laws, the Netherlands obviously, but other countries as well. And so that we are well along in another country that I unfortunately can't name right now, where we are working on getting a legal supply of cannabis for research. And that is the key, obviously, to creating any standardized pharmaceutical product, because you have to start out with a standardized ingredient. And because there are a wide variety of cannabis plants, and so that you want to have one or more than one, but a variety of them, so that you know exactly what you're doing and what you're putting into a particular formulation.
Well, Richard, as the CEO of the company, what do you see as your biggest challenge facing you as you move the company from research and development to actually marketing phytocannabinoid pharmaceuticals?
I think that first off, every pharmaceutical company has to go through a regulatory process, because that's part of the definition, I guess, of pharmaceutical in the modern world. But there's also the real problem is, in fact, the ignorance or misconception a lot of people have. They think, oh, you'll never get this thing through. It'll take forever. And so this is something for the distant future. But in point of fact, that, so not only do we have, like I say, some products that we will have in the pipeline soon, but we are also in the position of taking advantage of the fact that others have gone before us. The first large company in this area is a British company called GW Pharmaceuticals, and they have actually been in business for 10 years. And they already have one of their products, which is a whole cannabis derivative, in phase 3 trials in the United States. It has been approved for marketing in Canada and for limited marketing in Spain. So that when we are in the position then of taking, for example, the lozenge that Steve Cubby has come up with, into a system which will have in effect already recognized that whole cannabis extracts are safe and effective medicines. And this means that we are dealing, again, with something that has already been proven. Now, as you observe, cannabis has been used medicinally for thousands of years, and something that most people don't understand is that it can't kill you. So we don't have to worry about getting a product through the FDA and then all of a sudden find out that people are dropping dead from it, as so often happens with some of the much ballyhooed pharmaceutical products that are going to be billion-dollar products and then get withdrawn and they end up paying a billion-dollar settlement. Mm-hmm. That is a risk we don't have to worry about. So so if people understand that, and also that understanding that GW has collected over $50 million in prepaid royalties from major pharmaceutical companies before their one product is on the market any place except Canada. And this is so that in terms of a business plan, obviously what we would do, as almost all smaller pharmaceutical companies do, is move the product along and then license it to a major pharmaceutical company. And that will be our first source of income, and that will come in much sooner than simply getting the product prescribable on the market.
Richard, we're out of time. They're screaming at me in my ear, but why is this a good time right now for folks to take a closer look at Dynamic Alert?
Well, I think the most important reason everybody should pay attention is this really could be a matter of life and death to them, to know about cannabinoid medicines. And we approach this with a great sense of urgency ourselves because as a patient-oriented company. So we're going to be moving very fast. And I think that everybody should be paying attention to what we're doing, even if they're not in a position to invest, because this could really make a matter of life or death difference to them and their families.
The stock symbol is DYMC, Dynamic Alert Limited. Richard, we're going to be watching your company very closely over the next 3 months. Looking forward to more updates from you. From Colorado Springs, Dr. Robert Mellamede, Richard Cowan, CEO, here in our studio. Thanks so much for the story.
Glad to be here. Thank you.